Hello, good family. I am so honored to be here to be able to share our family history. I'm Eileen Pippins, daughter of Thomas E. Pippins and Mary Pippins. Thomas E. is son to Henry Lee Pippins and Bill Carson. And Bill Carson, my grandmother, is daughter to C.J. Carson. So let's go down our family history. The Carson, Cosey, Dement, and Wilson family. We learned about our history by interviewing family, researching the U.S. Census, birth, marriage, and death certificates and records, and previous accounts written in our family reunion souvenir books. We can trace our history all the way back to four remarkable individuals and their spouses. Sarah Cosey, born approximately 1775, John Abney Dement, born October 1844, in Tennessee. Jack Wilson, born January 1857 in Tennessee, and Albert Carson, born around 1860. The unions of Sarah Cosey and Steve McClines, and then John Abney Dement and Roxy Jack, and Sarah J. Dement Wilson, as well as Albert and Nellie Cannon Carson, form the roots from which our branches of the Carson, Cosey, Dement, and Wilson family continues to grow. Let's begin with Dement and Wilson. During the Civil War, John Abney Dement enlisted in the Union Army in May of 1862. He was a Teamster in Company A, 45th Illinois Regiment, and served 3 years until 1865. After the war, John Abney Dement married Roxy in 1866 in Sharkey County, Tennessee. Roxy was born May 1850 in Tennessee. John Abney and Roxy became the parents of 4 children: Sarah J., born 1867, James Abney, born September 1873, Solomon Glendower, born August 1876, and Esom, January 1878. Sarah J. Dement married Jack Wilson on March 21st, 1885 in Sharkey County. Jack Wilson was born in 1857 in Tennessee and was a minister. And thus we have the beginning of the Dement-Wilson lineage. Sarah and Jack Wilson had 8 children: Mary Jane, born June 1886, Eliza, January 1888, Letha, July 1889, Johnny, November 1893, Fanny, January 1895, Willie, born May 1896, Sarah, March 1899, and Louise, November 1902. Those are stair steps. Those stair step babies. Sarah was later to marry a second time to Thomas White around 1910, introducing our White clan. James Abney Dement, the son of John and Roxy, married Virginia Todd, March 16, 1899, in Sharkey County, the daughter of Thomas Todd and Amanda. Mary was born June 1876 in Mississippi. James Abney and Mary Virginia had 5 children: Christella E., 1902, James Jr., 1906, Roy Lee, 1907, Robert, 1908, and Narva Lee, 1909. That is the Dement and Wilson clan. Now we're bringing in the Carson clan. So Dement, Wilson, Carson. Albert Carson, 1860, and Nellie Cannon, 1860, were married about 1880 in Sharkey County. Children of Albert and Nellie are Charles, he was born August 1879, Henrietta, November 1884, and Albert, July 1887. Born in post-Civil War Mississippi, Charles, great-granddaddy, C.J. Carson, the oldest son of Albert and Nellie, attended Fisk University and then Alcorn University. He was to marry 3 times. Rumor has it he saw his first wife, Mary Jane Wilson, at the train station while both were traveling home from college. Charles J. Wilson, Sr., and Mary Jane Wilson, daughter of Jack and Sarah DeMent Wilson, were married in 1904 in Sharkey County, thus uniting the DeMent and Wilson lineages with the Carsons. The children of Mary Jane Wilson and Charles' granddaddy, CJ, are Addie B., 1906, Charles Jr., April of 1907, Bill, March 1909, Albert C., February 1911, Damon, April 1912, Mary Doll, 1831. My whole life I thought Aunt Doll's name, I thought her first name was Doll. I always thought that was cute. Sarah L., January 5th, 1915, and Aunt Alice E., October 30th, 1960. And rounding up the end was my grandma, Belle H. Pippin, or Belle H. Carson, June 12th, 1918. Now, we're going to bring in the Cosey family, the Cosey clan. Sarah Cosey was the mother of Steve Cosey. Steve married Caroline, and they were the parents of Jerry, Wash, Lindsay, Maine, Manne, Lemon, and Judge. So that was Jerry, Wash, Lindsay, Maine, Lemon, and Judge. 6 children. The eldest son, Jerry Cosey, was born July 1819 in Mississippi and died August 26, 1916 in Vicksburg, Mississippi. During the Civil War, Jerry Cosey served in Company G66 Regiment of the United States Colored Infantry. Jerry married Caroline Cummings, a midwife, on March 10, 1868 in Vicksburg. Jerry was the father of 18 children. The eldest, Warren the First, or Warren I, 1846 to 1876. Married Lydia Cummings and produced 4 children. John, 1866, Thomas, 1869, Lulu, 1872, and Warren II, who lived from 1875 to 1948. Thomas and Carrie Smith became the parents of Mary, Leola, Columbus, Robert, and Gertrude. And Mary was born 1889, Leola was 1892, Columbus was 1893, and Robert was 1897, Gertrude was 1899. These stair steps, almost stair steps. Actually, they did good. They had some gaps there. Warren II married Hazel Blackman Cosey. They were the parents of 17 children. You ready for this list? Minnie, Clara, Lydia, Hester, Elizabeth, Inez, Willie, another Willie, Mabel, Bertha, Emma, Samuel, Melisha, Warren, Rosie B., and twins John and Josie, and rounding up the bottom is Thelma. So they had children from 1900 to 1923. She had children for 23 years she was bearing children. From 1900, 17 kids. Whew, we are strong. We got some strong roots. Strong. In December 1918, Mary Jane Wilson Carson passed away. Charles met Minnie Cosey, the eldest child of Warren and Hazel Cosey, at a convention selling Bibles and books. Charles and Minnie were married in 1920, and she was 20 and he was 41. With their marriage, the Wilson, DeMent, Carson, and Cosey families were firmly established. Charles and Minnie were the parents of 7 children: Warren, Frederick, Isaiah, James, Dorothy, Aunt Dorothy, Uncle Jim, Aunt Lenora, and Lucille, Aunt Lucy. In September 1945, Minnie passed away, and Charles married a 3rd time to Bessie Boyd Hickman in November 1946. Our forefathers and foremothers had courage and foresight for their families, their faith in God, their hard work and persistence, and their drive and their love paved the way for generations to come. They taught us to have self-pride, love for family, care and respect for others, and to give ourselves our substance. We are proud to be recipients of the great heritage that we have, and honored to call ourselves family, blessed to call ourselves family, privileged to call ourselves family. Mary Carson Andrews conceived the idea of having a family reunion in 1958. With the family's consent, Mary had the necessary contacts and arranged to have the very first one in her beautiful backyard, and so the reunion became a reality. In the beginning, family reunions were held in Detroit. We'd make that trek from California too. The Detroit families included Carsons, Andrews, Fultons, Tankstons, Benvenutis, Lees, Trulees, Johnsons, Whites, Sarah Wilson McNeese, and Louise Wilson Briscoe. And we have had a family reunion from 1960 up until 2020. So in the beginning, 1960 to 1968, we had our reunions in Detroit, Michigan. In 1970, we had it in Winona, Mississippi. In 1972, family came to Richmond, California. 1974 was in Detroit. 76 was in Detroit. 78 was in Los Angeles. 79 was in Chicago. 1980 was in Michigan, was in Detroit. 1982 was in Newport News, Virginia. 1984 was in Indianapolis, Indiana. 1986 was in Michigan. And so we have a remaining list of where all of the other reunions have been. But since the beginning, we have held that we would have our reunions every 2 years. And we never know where the leaves are going to fall. But we know that our tree, our family tree, is stronger because of its roots. Thank you for letting me share our history with you. I love you, family. Stay healthy, and I'll see you at the next reunion. Blessings.